I wanted to just ask how many complete and total unbelievable exhaustion stories you have. I mean, the only reason I look this way is because I generally sleep on the plane, but I just couldn't on the way home, so I've just been up for like 2 days. That's kind of the normal state I'm in right now. But I remember there was this one day where I was feeling really ill, and I worked like way too long, and I was in one of those weird states where the body is like an idiot, where you're exhausted and you want to go to sleep but you can't. But fortunately, I was like, I'm sick and I have NyQuil, and NyQuil is like time travel to tomorrow morning, plus a massage that must have happened somewhere in the middle there, but you don't know who did it. You just wake up and you're like, oh god. I mean, seriously, NyQuil is like Viagra for sleeping. You don't even need it, but it just feels so great. So I took I guess I would call it a swig. I don't know what the unit of measurement is on a swig, how many tablespoons that is, but because I'm a college student in the time of the story and I was a little sleepy, I took the swig of the NyQuil and just sat on my bed and was like, this is going to be awesome, right? Um, and I don't know how much a swig is, but I think it was closer to like 3 gulp swig. It was more than I necessarily needed to do. Which is again another weird thing about the human conditions. It's like it tells me to take 2 Advil. I'm gonna take 4 Advil because I think it'll help twice as much. So I did that, right? Ill, exhausted, now ready for the time travel to tomorrow morning. And then my friend Corwin calls and says, hey, do you want to walk down to Pomona and get a sandwich? And I went, yeah, and just went with him like a fool. So I'm walking down with Corwin to get the sandwich, which, by the way, was great. It was a turkey bacon avocado melt that they have down at the Pomona store. And while I'm there, it just suddenly starts to set in, and I'm just like, ah, I don't know how to describe, like, your vision does something like this, where it does one of these, where I'm looking straight ahead, and then this happens, right? Just like one of these dodges, the world just like dink, and I'm like, ah, what's happening to me? I'm worried that it's like a full moon, and I'm about to become a werewolf or something scary. And it was just, the composition of poor decision making and this great food coma from this sandwich that was combining together to make me start to lose feeling in my legs. So I said, Corwin, I have to go. I have to go right now. And he goes, okay. He's known me for a while. He knows that's a thing that I'll probably do sometime. So I start to stumble back to my room, and I'm just moaning the whole time, just going, I look like basically a pacifist zombie, just going home upset. And by the way, it's like 8 p.m. It's still kind of bright because it's kind of close to summer in California. And I almost made it to my bed. I get into my room, and I'm like in my room, and my body's just like, we made it. It's safe to shut the body down. So I remember I reached for my bed, and then I fell to my knees, and I grabbed the towel that I hang on my bedpost, and then just fell to the floor, and the towel just went over my head. So I wake up. No, so my roommate comes in like 3 hours later, and I'm just on my back on the ground with a towel over my face and the light brightly shining on me. And Michael's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just had a sandwich." I think that's all I could get out. There was took NyQuil and went on a walk and had a sandwich and had to come home, but all he knew is that a sandwich gave me a hell of a good time. And that was that. I will say, well, you know what? Screw watching the other game. We'll watch the other game at the start of part number 2. Let's tell more complete and total exhaustion stories. The most surreal one I ever had is I just finished my morning classes, and I had a class at 1:15. So I ate lunch, and I got back to my room at noon, and I thought, let me just take a nap before I have class at 1. And I went to bed and woke up at 6 p.m. the next day. I slept for 30 hours. I woke up and I was like, oh, it feels good. Oh, wow. Where it's not even like it's not like you feel rested. You just feel deeper into the mattress. You just wake up and you're like, it is physically impossible to move. Like there was so much juicy endorphins in the body, and that was probably the most disorienting feeling ever. Because first you wake up and it's kind of dark, but then you also find out that the StarCraft match you were gonna stay up and watch happened, and people are asking where you've been, and you're just like, I was sleepy. I took a nap. And they're like, but you didn't. You just stopped being there for a day. And I was like, story doesn't have an end. That's what I did. All right. My nose is just shiny as all hell today. Look at the luster of that nose.